We're down to the final eight, people. It's already the quarterfinals of the Asian Cup. Can't believe it. But these quarterfinal matchups are going to be insane. South Korea, Australia, Iran, Japan, Tajikistan, or Jordan are going to be in the semifinals of the Asian Cup. Here's the preview and predictions. Let's run the intro and talk about the four games because, my God, we're in for something epic. So here we are, people. The quarterfinals begin tomorrow. That's why I'm doing it live. I don't have a lot of time to edit. So I was like, hey, you know what? Let's engage. Let's talk about it. Let's bring the Asian football community together and everybody who enjoys football. Because if you're not watching the Asian Cup, you have to watch these quarterfinal games. I don't know what to expect. We're going to get drama. We're going to get goals. Because what we saw in the round of 16, late goals, even more history for nations. And hopefully it will continue in the quarterfinals because we got four games to talk about. Big up to Sebastian, big up to Tom Korean, big up to AD744, big up to Wirzi in the chat as well. And if you're watching on replay, give me your predictions in the comments down below. And what are you most intrigued by? Are you intrigued by Australia versus South Korea? Can they beat Japan? We'll find out. And who is going to make the semifinals between Tajikistan and Jordan? And can Uzbekistan make another semifinals? Let's run through it, people. Let's talk about the game. So, Tajikistan and Jordan. One of these teams are going to make the semifinals for the first time ever. And in the round of 16, they won their first ever knockout stage games, both countries. This is Tajikistan's debut. Jordan, I mean, that comeback they had against Iraq was insane. Yes, okay, were they benefit of the referee? Okay, yes, we can say that. But they still had to win the game. The mentality that Jordan showed against Iraq and the quality that they showed as well, especially in the first half. We cannot deny what Jordan did in that first half with the quality of play, with Al-Tamari, with Olwan, with Al-Naimat. I mean, their attack, when they have the ball, Jordan, and counterattacking, it's special. I mean, everybody's going to focus on Al-Tamari because Al-Tamari is just this. He is the glue for this team. But the other attackers and the midfield and the defense stepping up in that first half, this is the key for Jordan. I don't know how Tajikistan are really going to approach this game because they are a very good defensive team. The only issue I have with Tajikistan is they do not take their chances. They don't. They had all the opportunities in that game against UAE to kill it off. They had all the opportunities. You can't do that against Jordan. You have to be clinical if you're Tajikistan. But Kalanovov, the center back. I mean, the guy looks like he hasn't had a haircut for years, but it don't matter because he is playing at an elite level. He is probably one of the best center backs at this Asian Cup. And he's gonna, I think he plays his club football in Iran. I mean, he is a beast of a player, absolute beast. And obviously Savarov, the right back as well, providing the width. I mean, Petr Zevgit, what he has done with Tajikistan is nothing short of Disney. It's Disney. Like Tajikistan, yeah, they've been a team on the rise, but to make it to a round of 16 and then to make it to a quarterfinals, this is fairy tale. This is fairy tale. So if Tajikistan win this game and make it to a semifinals, give Petr Zevgit the keys to the country. Give him the keys. Because the job he is doing is unreal. But yeah, I mean, the problem for Tajikistan is they have to just be clinical. I have not been impressed by any of their strikers. The midfield, they can control the ball and they move. This is the thing with Tajikistan. They move the ball really well. It's not just, okay, we're going to play just long balls towards the strikers. No, they try and progress as a team and the combination play is beautiful. But you cannot give up the ball in crucial situations to Jordan. To UAE, it's okay because UAE's attack we saw throughout this Asian Cup wasn't good. But against Jordan, with the players they got, you cannot do that with Tajikistan. So they have to play a smart game. And for Jordan, you know, their defense, when it is tested, has shown that it leaked goals. South Korea, Bahrain. Obviously, Malaysia didn't pose much of a threat. And then, of course, Iraq. Iraq didn't play the best first half. But once Iraq started pressing and winning the ball higher up the field, that's when Jordan's defense was looking a little bit shaky. And I'm not impressed by the goalkeeper because I thought he could have done better on the first goal for Iraq. This is going to be an intriguing battle because who's going to dominate possession and who's going to be the team that just wants to sort of counterattack, be a little bit passive. I think for both teams, they cannot be passive in this game. This is a historic moment for both nations. Now they need to take that extra step and create even more history for their nations, which this is the best situation possible. Best situations. So who's going to win? Well, my prediction is I'm going with Jordan 2-1. I'm going with Jordan 2-1. Thank you, Waziri, as well. He reminded me. Yeah, these two teams met in the World Cup qualifiers back in November, I believe it was, and it ended 1-1. So they are very familiar with each other, these two nations. But I'm going 2-1 Jordan in 90 minutes. I just think they have too much quality up front. I do. I think this game will kind of be 60-40% ball possession for Jordan. But they got the momentum. They got that winning feeling. Even when they're down and out like they were against Iraq, pull it together. I just think I have to give respect, though, to Tajikistan, what they've done so far. And Petr Sergit. I mean, both managers need to be given a lot of credit. But I think Jordan have Altamari. That guy, he's just special, man. He's so special. So, yeah, 2-1 Jordan is my prediction. Let me know in the comments down below your prediction of the game. Because now, now. Oh, boy. Australia versus South Korea. It doesn't get easier for South Korea. It doesn't. They're going to have to go through a gauntlet to win this Asian Cup. Last time these two teams met in the Asian Cup was, of course, that 2015 final. And it was Australia's first ever Asian Cup. And you know who scored the only goal for South Korea that day? Heung-min Son. It was a young Heung-min Son. And now look what he's doing at club level. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen in this game either, people, because Australia, I'm not impressed. But I've said this every video and every reaction I do about Australia. They're not going to be pretty, people. It's not going to be spectacular. If you want prime Barcelona or prime Man City, don't watch Australia. You know what the Socceroos do? They win games. No matter how it's done, might not be pretty. It's going to be a bit of a slugfest. They get the W. My only issue is, have they been tested at this Asian Cup? Because the only time where I'm like, oh yeah, Australia, they're on the ropes here and they're kind of being tested was Uzbekistan in the second half. What happened? They conceded a goal. The attack, it needs to have some creativity. But maybe this game is really suiting Australia because we saw at the World Cup and Graham Arnold, very good counter-attacking team. Obviously, they don't have some of those pieces. But here, this is now their opportunity to sort of sit back. Hey, South Korea, you try and break us down, and it's okay. It's okay. The only issue is those attackers for Australia. Yes, some of them are good, but are they excellent where you're like, oh, yeah, they're going to score a goal here? I don't see it for Australia. I don't. Jackson Irvine is going to have to play an amazing game, and I really rate the midfielder. I mean, obviously, he's captain of St. Pauli, and he is a leader, man. He is a true leader, and he always sort of galvanizes his team and gets the crucial goals. That's what Jackson Irvine does. But who's going to be that other guy who steps up? Is it going to be Riley McGree, Jordan Boss, or one of these guys? Because I don't trust Mitchell Duke. I don't trust any of the strikers. Foranoli hasn't really shown a lot at this Asian Cup. Who will step up for Australia? This is their biggest test. And will they prevail? I mean, Graham Arnold, I know what he's going to do. I think we can all predict what Graham Arnold's going to do. Sit back, counterattack. And that might suit him and might suit these players because Harry Suter, I don't think he's the best in possession, but hey, dealing with crosses and everything like that in the defensive actions, a beast, and obviously Matt Ryan in goal. And then the South Korea. So we are very all critical of Jurgen Klinsmann. Of course we are. And rightfully so, because he has I don't think he's done a good job with South Korea and the talent they have. He cannot play that back five. He can't. It might be good defensively, but you saw when they were attacking in that first half, South Korea had no clue what to do with the ball. All they did was play a long ball towards Son and said, Son, try and create some magic. But you saw in that second half, okay, yes, they went 1-0 down. After they conceded the goal, Jurgen Klinsmann, give him credit, made some in-game changes. Obviously, Hwang Hee-chan has to start this game. That there's no debate about that. If he doesn't start, Lord help Klinsmann get a football brain. Because Hwang Hee-chan off the bench, yeah, he didn't get a goal. I just thought he was so influential. Jurgen Klinsmann has to start the back four. It's essential. Cho, okay, look, Cho, I call him the Darwin Nunes of South Korea. That's what he is. He is the Darwin Nunes of South Korea. Gives you good moments, but so frustrating in front of goals. So he should have scored one of those goals. He should have in the last game. He should be having more goals in this Asian Cup. Now, this is the game where Son, Lee Kang-in, now everybody, I think all the grandmother will probably look at this game and say, we got to just focus on Son. That is the main thing here. How do we nullify him and don't let him have a huge impact on this game? The problem is, if you do that, you got Lee Kang-in. You got Lee Kang-in on the other side, who's just that absolute baller. He didn't have his greatest game against Saudi Arabia. He can step up in this game. I just worry about South Korea defensively. They did a lot better against Saudi Arabia, but we saw Saudi Arabia. Their attack is not great. Not great. But the one thing this South Korean team has is mentality. They have a desire to win. I don't think it's from the manager. I think it just comes from the players. The players know this is their moment. For Son, especially as he's getting older and older, he knows this is probably, well, obviously 2027, he might be still around and involved with the team. But in his best years, this is Son's best chance. So he wants to win this so badly. And you just saw all the emotion. I really think that win over Saudi Arabia sort of galvanized the team. And okay, maybe some of them don't rate Jurgen Klinsmann as a manager, but this is now where they can take the moment of beating Saudi Arabia. Very tough game, comeback, late goal, and push on to win this Asian Cup. So let's see what happens. This is not going to be easy, though. This is not an easy game to predict whatsoever. And I hope we get a good footballing matchup, but I think it's going to be very tactical in the sense of Graham Arnold is going to look to nullify South Korea, and then Graham Arnold is going to be like, hey, how the heck are we going to counterattack this team that leak goals? How can we threaten them? Set pieces are going to be a big thing as well for both teams. But wow, I hope we get a great game. I hope we get a great game, and hopefully Klinsmann doesn't F this up. Hopefully he doesn't. Because Graham Arnold, at least you can say, with his subs, they've paid off a lot in this Asian Cup. And Klinsmann just showed it only in the last game that his subs are benefit during the matchup. So what is my prediction? Well. I think it's going to be 1-1. Oh, also, by the way, this is a big note, and I don't think anybody's mentioned this in the chat, and I'll mention this now. Australia have 2 extra rest days. As South Korea played 120 minutes of intense football, emotional, physically, against Saudi Arabia. So Australia, they've been chilling. Okay, no pina coladas because no drinking during the Asian Cup. Business. They've been resting, looking tactically. Okay, how can we beat South Korea? So I think Australia are really prepared for this game, and we'll see then how does South Korea overcome all the obstacles at hand. But I still think they're going to do it, people. I think it's going to be 1-1 and it goes to penalties, and I think South Korea are going to win on penalties again. Now, am I confident in this pick? No. I think this is really 50-50 in a sense that if you pick Australia, I could fully understand it. If you go with South Korea, you're just banking on the talent pulling through. So let's go 1-1, extra time, and South Korea win on penalties. It's not going to be easy, but I think South Korea can do it. I think they can. Big up to Tom, buddy. Thank you very much for your kind donation, buddy. Thank you very much. I was going to read it after the when I was talking about the game, but thank you very much for your kind donation. The $2 US. Because then you guys know who I think is going to win. So that's why I'm pronouncing it that 1-1 goes to penalties, and then South Korea win 2-1 on penalties. No, not 2-1 on pens. No, not 2-1 on pens. I mean, if 2-1 on pens, bro, those players need to be. Oh man, that is horrific to see. So I'm intrigued to see what Australia do, and you can never write off the Socceroos, people. Never write them off. This is always the thing with people. They always say, "Oh, Australia," and I did this during the World Cup as well. I said, you know what? They don't got the talent of Tim Cahill, Mark Viduka, and all these guys. But clearly, there is just a mentality within Australian football that doesn't matter. We're always going to give our best. But wow, we're in for a great game. We're in for a great game. So we'll see that tomorrow, people. Maybe a watch along. Actually, no, I can't do a watch along because I'm going to do a watch along for the AFCON. But I will be definitely tuning in. Definitely tuning in. So let's get to the next game, as it is the host Qatar versus Uzbekistan. Remember, everybody, to hit the like button. Thank you very much, Sepper, for reminding everybody. Remember to hit the like button on your way in. We only got 20 likes. Bro, what? What? Huh? 20 likes? I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. Wait, you know what?
That is blasphemous.
That is blasphemous. All right, so now we got the host Qatar against Uzbekistan. I don't know, people. I don't know. This is what makes, I think, every sort of quarterfinal matchup is 50-50. Maybe you could say Japan or 60-40 favorites against Iran, but who's going to win this? Because we look at the host Qatar. Have they looked impressive during this Asian Cup? No. Compared to the 2019 when they were just destroying teams and steamrolling and Ali Al-Moez was looking like prime R9, you said, nah, okay, this team have the essentials and all the pieces to win this game. But this time around, they've played China, who are horrendous. They've played Lebanon, who are not great. And then Tajikistan, which Tajikistan gave them a tough game. And then Palestine. And Palestine had the 1-0 lead. And then it took a penalty to beat them. I don't think they've looked impressive, Qatar. But the one thing they got is that, well, not superstar in the sense of international football, people. But in Asian football, Akram Afif right now is balling out. He is balling out. If there was a team of the tournament, you're putting Akram Afif right there. That's what you're doing because he is unreal. Al Haidos playing a lot better. I think he was rested the second game against Tajikistan. After that, Al Haidos has been really good. And obviously, we saw the ridiculous goal he scored against China. And then Ali Al-Moez. I mean, has the guy even been here? He's got one goal. I think it was against Lebanon in the first game. Other than that, I have not seen Ali Al-Moez at all in this tournament. So one thing is, have Qatar really been tested? Have they been tested? That's why it's sort of up in the air with this Qatari team where, okay, in moments they show that they're a very good ball possession team, and we know that obviously since 2019. And then at moments you're like, does anybody want to attack this team and say, hey, let's see what you got defensively? No, I don't think so. The one team that can do that is the White Wolves of Uzbekistan. The only issue that Uzbekistan got is, my God, the injuries that this team are going through right now. And Kushanov, the center back, is suspended. I mean, how much adversity, how much did they have to go through for Uzbekistan to win this tournament? Because if they had everybody healthy, I'm sorry, people, I think Uzbekistan can win this Asian Cup. But they keep getting on injuries and injuries and injuries and then suspended to the star young center back. I really like Uzbekistan. I think their time is not now to win this Asian Cup. 2027? By the way, people, I don't know if you saw, there's some Uzbek player who's like 18 years old. He just moved to Brentford. And I know Brentford never get transferred wrong. So Uzbekistan are definitely on the rise to be that sort of superpower team in Asia, joining the likes of Japan and South Korea and all these teams. But Uzbekistan, I think in this tournament, they've shown that they can play really good football. You know, that first half against Thailand, they were so dominant. Second half against Australia, up in their level. But then at times as well, they're kind of like average, like Syria. I was like, do you want to like sort of play football here? You know, you want to play football? Or I think sometimes Uzbekistan get a little too hesitant. I think against Qatar, Uzbekistan just got to go for the game. It doesn't matter now. You're in a quarterfinal. You've made history as well. They've won their second ever knockout stage game by beating Thailand. So Uzbekistan have nothing to lose. I think it's more pressure on Qatar. They're at home. They're defending champions. So if you're one of the Uzbek players like Faisulayev and all these guys, Mazareopov, just be yourself. Don't feel passive. Don't feel passive. So we have the battle of basically two stars. You got Faisulayev, who I think is an absolute baller. This guy will play in top 5 league soon. Guarantee it. And then you got Akram Afif. Which baller is going to rise to the occasion? You saw Faisulayev. He got the winning goal against Thailand, and I thought he was really good in that game. But one player is Uronov. Uronov. Please get your decision making right. Get it right. So let's find out, people. I mean, really intriguing game. I think both teams will want to keep the ball. And I think Uzbekistan have shown that when they're in a low block, they can defend well. But have they really gone up against a guy like Akram Afif? That's the issue. This was my prediction, people. I'm going 1-0 Qatar. I just think the injuries are too much for Uzbekistan. And the suspension to Kushunov. Look, I hope I'm wrong. I want to see Uzbekistan do really, really well and continue progressing as a nation and being one of the best in Asia. But maybe the injuries will catch them up in this game. And I'm not confident in this pick. I'm definitely not. I could easily see Uzbekistan win 2-0. And then we just see that, oh, Qatar really never faced anybody throughout this Asian Cup. But let's go with Qatar. 1-0 is my prediction. That, hey, if there's one thing to know is Uzbekistan, they can put up a good game. They can definitely put up a good game. Then the final game, people. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. It is Japan and Iran. Here's a crazy stat, people. Here's a crazy stat. These teams have met 18 times. 6 wins for Iran, 6 wins for Japan, and 6 draws. So they're consistent. But the one important stat is Iran have never beaten Japan in the Asian Cup. Never. Never, ever, 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 ever. Can they change it on Saturday? I can't lie. Iran were not great against Syria. I don't know what happened to them. Taremi, man, why'd you get that red card? I know you were doing the defensive action and you were trying to help your team. You cannot pick up a second yellow in there. And you just saw throughout the penalty shootout, the guy was crying because he thought, oh my God, I'm going to cost my team here. Taremi is so key. He is so key to this team. It's just, I'm not been impressed by Osman in this Asian Cup. Like, the guy is super talented. We know that with Osman. He's going to work his ass off to win this game. But Osman hasn't been that guy that we've seen in the past with Team Melli. And then Gaedi didn't have a good game. Jahanbash, I thought a little bit average throughout this Asian Cup. So those guys, Gaedi, Jahanbash, Osman, they're going to have to go from here, the level, to up here if they want to beat Japan. Because we know what sort of team Japan are. And then Goros as well. They just have so many injuries. The center back, Hossein, he was suspended against Syria. He will be back. So that's at least a good thing because that guy, Cheshmi, is horrendous. He is so bad. So bad. So where can Iran win this game? I think they have shown, though, that this team is super united. I think in the past, I've kind of been like, oh, is this, is Iran really united? No. This team, it really seems like want to do it. They want to win this Asian Cup and create history because it's been so long since Iran has won an Asian Cup. It's been so long. But I do worry. I do worry for Iran going up against Japan. Because if Japan showed what they did against... Guys, please don't use the R word there. Please, guys, don't. I know the news with Ito. Japan, that performance against Bahrain, I thought was their best performance so far. That was their best performance. They were so goddamn good. The only issue, the only thing that was a blemish on that performance was, how many times do I have to say this during this Asian Cup, people? Suzuki is, I mean, okay, I understand. He got a little bit unlucky conceding that goal. Punches it up straight into the air, catches it, goes off the defender. When it's not your time, it's definitely not your time for Suzuki. So if I'm the Iranian players, just take a shot. Let's see if Suzuki's that good of a goalkeeper. Because clearly we have seen in this Asian Cup, Suzuki is a liability. He's a liability. But I really like their performance, Japan. I really like... Kubo was good. Ueda, who I called for during the group stage to start, got a goal, and it was a fantastic goal. In the midfield with Endo. I mean, Japan are just such a good team. They dealt with the... Defensively, I thought they did a lot better against Bahrain, dealing with crosses, set pieces. So that's where Iran have to be dangerous from, is set pieces. Because, yes, okay, Japan did well against Bahrain, but against, Iraq, Vietnam, Indonesia, Japan were not good defensively in set pieces. They weren't. So they're going to have to really be focused against the Iranian team who are good in set pieces. But I'm worried. I'm not really sold on Iran. I know they did well to win that penalty shootout, but you cannot. Syria are a difficult team. They've shown it. They're a very gritty team. But Iran should be winning that game comfortably 2-0. They had all the chances in the world to kill off that game as well. Taremi had a couple of chances. Osman had a chance. They didn't kill it off. Now you're going up against Japan, where you have to be clinical. It's not, oh, you're going to get another chance and another chance and another chance. No, 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 no. Osman has to be clinical. And for Japan, I think they just got to be focused. They got to be focused. They play up to their level. They play down to their level. So I know when Japan see Iran, they're going to play up to that level. Really up to that level. And I know people are in the chat are saying Mitoma. Yeah, I mean, Mitoma's going to come off the bench. I don't think he's going to start probably because there must be some sort of agreement with Brighton and Mitoma that he comes off the bench or until he's healthy. Yeah, I mean, you just saw as soon as Mitoma came off the bench, I was like, oh, I feel so bad for Bahrain. So bad. And then Minamino as well. It's like, what can you do? What can you do, people? But no doubt about it, this is going to be a battle. This is going to be a battle. This is going to be a battle. I mean, if Iran win this game without Taremi, Mohrami, who got the ACL tear, I mean, Iran are going to win this Asian Cup. I'll say it right now. If Iran beat Japan, they won't win this Asian Cup. The adversity with injuries, Taremi getting the red card, I just don't see it, though. I don't see it. I think Japan are going to win 2-1. No doubt about it, Japan are conceding a goal. Because those guys cannot keep a clean sheet. When was the last time Japan kept a clean sheet? I actually need to check that. I don't know when was the last time they kept a clean sheet. Oh, wait, I'm going to check it here, people. It's been a while for them. Was it? Nope. They conceded there. So Thailand 5-0 in a friendly on the 1st of January. That's the last time. So that's about 5-6 games. Japan. Yeah. I want to say Iran can do this. Maybe if they had Taremi and Osmu, they would be a lot more threatening because of their combination play and their understanding of each other because they played many years together. Defensively, I like, though, Iran. After they gave up the red card with Taremi, they defended so well and organized. That's what they have to be. They have to be locked in, not for 30 minutes, for 90 minutes. The Iranian defense. Can they do it? Time will tell, but I just think Japan are too good. They're too good. I think now it's starting to click. Now we're seeing the good Japan. Maybe they needed that loss against Iraq to really wake up and say, it's not going to be a given. It is not going to be given. So 2-1 for Japan. I would love to see Iran win, though. I would love to see it because then this Asian Cup gets even crazier because then we're going to get like a winner that hasn't won it for a long time or a first-time winner. But hey, we'll see what this matchup is saying. But big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to everybody. I'll read out Ryan's comment, and then we'll go out, get out of here. Unless any super chats come in. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you guys to super chat, but thank you all for tuning in. We got 86 of you in the house. Remember to hit the like button. Big up to Ryan says, I think now that Iran have been shooked, they know they can't play like this against Japan. They could be going crazy this match. And to be honest, I see this being very high scoring because of Japan's goalkeeper, Zion Suzuki. You know what? You make a good point, right? I think Iran, no. It's the same thing with Iran. They played a great game against Palestine, terrible performance against Hong Kong, great against UAE, terrible against Syria. So what's the trend going to be? All right, let's play a great game against Japan, the best game of our lives. You know, the players like Taremi, Osman are getting older, Jahanbash, Goros. So I think this generation of Iranian players, this is their biggest game. This is the moment where it's now or never. It's now or never for these guys. As Taremi will be getting older, Osman will be getting... I think Taremi in 2027 will be like 35 years old. So this crop of Iranian players know it's now or never, and they're really going to go through a physical and mental battle because they played 120 minutes against Syria. Japan, you know, they kind of had it easy for 90 minutes against Bahrain. This is where it's got to be for Iran. If they don't do it now, I don't know when they're going to win next to the Asian Cup. I don't know when next because you see Uzbekistan getting better, South Korea keep on producing ballers, Japan, of course, and then, you know, Australia, they got a young generation coming through. Yeah. It's just, yeah. No, look, out of the month says here, I don't think Iran were terrible against Syria at all with 11 men, just not clinical. Then again, I don't remember the last time Osman was clinical in a big game. I don't remember either. I don't remember the last time Osman was clinical. but he's going to have to be on Saturday against Japan, because if there's a game to be clinical, if you're Osman and all the players for Iran, it is that game. And no doubt, they can threaten Japan. Because Japan defensively, yeah, they played a good game against Bahrain. But let's put Bahrain's attack against Iran's attack. Which one are you taking? I know which one everybody is taking. But everybody, should be a great quarterfinals. I mean, this Asian Cup has been fantastic to watch. I mean, the atmospheres, the drama, the late goals, it's been awesome to watch. Thank you all for your support during the Asian Cup. And remember to hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Get your predictions in the comments down below. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Wow. Let's hope for a great quarterfinals. Adios, everybody.